Hi, this is Charles Castor, and I have got Lou Silvestro with me. And Lou is 71 years old, just retired, so he's very blessed. And I know when we were talking, Lou, before you came into the program, that you did not want to do any kind of a fitness program because you were afraid of the restriction word, like the diet word. So I do know that physically you were having some issues and your knees were hurting you, that kind of thing. So maybe you can help us understand, what were you struggling with prior to you making a decision to come into this program?
Probably my biggest struggle was just making a decision and realizing that I needed to make one. Um, that's true. My knees were bothering me, and I knew in back of my mind it was due to the excess weight I had. Maybe not completely due to that, but that had a big contributing part of it. I wasn't consistent in what I was eating. I would eat whatever was available. I wasn't committed to really moving on to doing anything, to be honest with you. I had lacked energy because I'd come home from work and take a nap every time I came home, and that kind of wasted my day. So it's like, you know, I'm glad I sat down with you when I had the opportunity to do that, and you kind of pointed a couple things out to me that, hey, maybe I can help you if you're willing to make a few adjustments. And I'm glad I listened to you. So,
What were your big concerns prior to? I know you had concerns about just making a decision, but what were some of your concerns about actually committing and making the decision?
um, concerns as to not being able to eat what I wanted to eat. Um, I love a lot of different foods, and if somebody tells me I can't have that and I can't have that, I don't want to listen anymore. I just shut them off, So probably my biggest concern was that, I would say,
Okay.
and just whatever, not being able to eat what I wanted. That's basically really it.
Fair enough. Same thing I would be concerned about. So what were your results that you had during the 4-month span here? What have the results been?
Well, I started at 256, and I was very skeptical at first that we'd able to really do anything with this, but now I'm 4 months later, I'm down to 219. So yeah, it's working for me. What we're doing is working. And I hadn't realized that I'm really doing much to get to this. I'm eating whatever I want. I'm just not not being dumb and eating a whole slab of ribs or a whole pizza, just I'm being mindful of all that stuff. So even though I'm not shutting anything off, last night I went out to eat with a bunch of guys, and we had whatever we wanted. I even had dessert. But you know what? I prepared for it, so I know what the heck to do. And now, I'll tell you, just being mindful of what's going into your body, that helps. It's tremendous help.
So you're not sitting here starving yourself, correct?
No, not at all. I mean, I eat whatever I want. I really do. It just, like I say, if I have a taste for ribs, I eat ribs. I just don't, like I say, I don't eat the whole slab. I mentioned ribs because my neighbor is a chef, like I mentioned to you before, and that's what he brought over yesterday. But you know what? There were like 8 ribs in the container. Now there's 6. I only had 2. So you know what? It's satisfying. You don't have to eat the whole thing. I mean, it's just, if you're doing the drinking the water and all that stuff, it just really helps because it helps curb the appetite. I mean, it's just, and water, everybody drinks water anyway. You might as well just do it at the right time. What the heck's the difference?
Awesome. So you don't ever feel like you're deprived, like, man, I want the other half of the slab of ribs. Like, did that
No,
don't cross
right,
your mind?
right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
So is this something, Lou, you think you could do for the rest of your life? Like what you're doing right now from a nutritional protocol and the results you're getting, is this something you can continue to do forever?
I don't see why not. I mean, I really haven't done all that much to change things. Just being mindful of what I'm doing. It's not that big a deal, really. I mean, it's for me, it's a piece of cake. It really is, because, and not to use that as a fun, but it's not. I haven't really changed a whole lot. I've just altered just the way I'm doing it, just the amounts, and it's really working. And without restrictions, that was the key word for me. Just not knowing that I'm not restricted to eliminate anything, that's one of the keys
Awesome.
for me anyway.
So what would you say to somebody that has all the doubts you had coming into this thing? Because people have plenty of doubts about all kinds of things they find. What would you say to somebody that's sitting on the fence trying to make a decision? Is this real? Is it not real? Will it work for me? What would you tell them?
If you're on the fence, that means you need to make a decision one way or the other. So if you have to decide whether you want to keep on feeling the way you feel or you want to make some improvements, and just to get the improvements that you want, it's not that big a deal. You're not really changing all that much. You're just watching how you're doing it. That's really all it's about. Just being knowledgeable about what you're doing and what you're eating and how you're going about your life. That's all you need to do, because it works. I mean, look at me. If I've known these people for a while, they knew me 6 months ago. They knew what I looked like then. I mean, I'm not that big a difference, but I'm 40 pounds less, or just about. And that's a great story right there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Especially to the people that I know, that are on the fence.
Well, I appreciate doing this with you. I appreciate the results you got. I love the fact that you're able to walk better right now too, as far as your knees and just all those things that hinder us with some of the things. And it doesn't have to be that way. So Lou, I just appreciate you. It's been wonderful doing this program with you. And I thank you for talking to people about this. We'll talk later.
Thanks.